What's happening, guys? My name is OTG and I'd like to welcome you to episode number 7 of our F1 2012 Career Mode series. And we are in Canada, and as you see we have qualified in pole position. The best race of my life. Great race. I'm hitting these apexes like they are, I don't know, it's a punching bag. It's so nice, this track. Love it to pieces. And we are storming. Qualifying 1, we were first. Qualifying 2, we were first. Qualifying 3, we was first. And it's just absolutely perfect. If we can then go ahead to what do you call it, in this race, and get the pole to victory, to be honest, that is the best thing you can do in a race weekend. All of the qualifyings, pole, and of course race win. But we're gaining on Fernando Alonso. I think it's because I've gone rich fuel mix, and they save a bit of fuel to use in the later on in the race. But if I can keep a gap of about 2 seconds to Fernando Alonso, then I'll be happy. And you see there, I already make a mistake. Classic OTG. Because I just was, I was obviously all excited, like, oh yeah, gonna get this race, hit it with a storm, and I just go wide, forgetting my braking. But I'll bounce back, and we're going around now, and you see now I'm gonna hit the corner perfectly, locking my brakes just a little bit, but no worries there. We're 1.7 seconds ahead of Fernando Alonso, who has got Sebastian Vettel on his tail. So I believe it's Alonso, Vettel, and Hamilton who switch and change around during this race, like it's absolute. Just like they cannot stick to one thing, because I'm obviously going to be holding them up a little bit because I'm a slower car. Then they're going to be a little bit annoyed. But obviously this is the race I wanted to prove that I'm not always a car that in the first lap just has to get into one position, then hold up and hope for the best. I'm trying to get a gap here and do dominance in this race. It's going to be a difficult task because they are very good cars behind me. And all it will take is a little mistake by me, and they will be right ahead. So we now come around there, getting a little bit of a cut on the corner. No problems there though. Coming around and swooping around these corners. And what I found is I have 3 controllers. A white one that's stiff, and I'm starting to loosen it up. We've got a black one that comes on my new PS3. That's mildly stiff, but I can use it. The red one though is so loose, and it's so nice for Formula 1 games. So that's the one I like to use with Formula 1 games, and it's so nice. You can see I can like go around the corners without being very jolty. Going a little bit wide there, hitting the Allianz wall, going under the sign now, coming out to the hairpin on the second lap. We are I'm very good at these sort of tracks. Not the fast. This is my least favourite part though, because if Alonso, Vettel, or Hamilton are within 1 second of me, they will have the DRS, and that is really scary because they are just come plummeting at you, and it's just like you've just got to try and deal with it as best as you can. But we're now coming around into the end of lap 2, coming on to lap 3 in a second, taking that corner nicely, and we're coming now, getting the line beautifully, getting into gear 6 before we cross the line. DRS is now enabled, setting the fastest lap at 1:19.1. That is pretty slow compared to qualifying speeds. Obviously, different factors. There's no DRS, nothing like that. Different factors, but we were definitely fast around this track. So we're coming around and onto the coming into the end of the first sector. Very short sector, the first one I find. Very short circuit, to be honest. Qualifying speed was 1:16. We're 3 seconds slower than that. And taking into consideration these tyres are a little bit worn. We have no DRS. And we have more fuel, so it's kind of annoying. But you know, we're getting away from Fernando Alonso, and we can see now that there's a car. So we have us, the group of 3, and then 2 cars that split away from the rest of the pack. And Maldonado is in that giant snake going around the corners. Just hope he can get some points in this race. That's what we really need. We need Maldonado to get some points. Going wide around that corner, but it all actually goes well because it gives me a better exit going around into the corner as we come around now onto the end of lap 3. They are luckily not within a second, so DRS will not be activated for this one. Coming now past the Pirelli wall and the V-Power Shell wall. Hopefully we can do our very best to keep on first and win this race indeed. I mean, a podium would be amazing. 2 podiums in 1 season is amazing for Williams, but if we can win in this race, that would just top it off. Now, coming on to the in-laps, we have kept a gap to Fernando Alonso. We've got plus 3 laps worth of fuel. Our fastest new lap is 1:18.7. So yeah, obviously the tyres are coming off. A 2-second gap between us and Alonso. Hamilton's jumped Sebastian Vettel, and as you can see now, that snake a minute ago has split up, and now Maldonado, and it's a very open race now. Obviously though, we're going to have some difficulties in the pits. As long as we can get a brilliant pit stop, then cars are a lot closer together, And what will happen is when like the lower down teams come in, they will have to go past as well, so the cars will have time taken off. But because I'm so close to the exit, we're nowhere near the back markers, so we're going to get out as quickly as possible. It's one of the benefits of being at Williams. Now, obviously, as we're coming around onto the in-lap, we're just trying to get as big a gap as possible to Fernando Alonso, so I can hopefully get into the pits with a nice gap, and the team will have comfortable. We need at least a 3-second pit stop to be secure and happy. 4 seconds or 5 seconds is going to be a very, very difficult thing indeed. We're on the standard fuel mix, and it says I'm going to rejoin in first position. Obviously, say if Hamilton and Button are next to each other, then one's going to have to stay out, and I believe Hamilton does indeed stay out and Button comes in the pits. This race is very, very interesting though, because the pack is always changing, and I believe that when we go into the pits, Alonso's behind me, Hamilton's third, and Sebastian Vettel's in fourth. Things can easily change though, depending on how pit stops go, and you'll see though, as all the cars pits, things do change around a hell of a lot. Just hoping though we can hold in our position and keep first place. We've got about a 2-second go, full speed into the pits now. It's all about the team. Can they hit a perfect pit stop? Lewis Hamilton stays out on track. As we come around, he goes into first position, taking my reins. He now needs to set the fastest, and you'll see now we're coming into the pits, hitting a beautiful 3-second pit stop, 3.3 seconds, and the car behind us is in fact Sebastian Vettel. So he has jumped Fernando Alonso in the pits as Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race. Couldn't ask for much more from him. That was a great pit stop, and you see there, that is just classic. I noticed that when I don't know why, but every time I've done like a custom race on this track, you come out the pits and you automatically turning, and it just drifts you around the corner. So you've got to be very, very careful, because if you just keep going, you see what I do here is I'm just like, okay, I'll just go a little bit wide there. Nothing lost, because I just didn't want to lose the rear end again. So Hamilton staying the fastest lap. We then go into the rich fuel mix, and Romain Grosjean's ahead of us in fourth, and you see Vettel is down in sixth behind us. Obviously we need some time to get these tyres warm, and we've got 18 laps of this race. We've got another 9. We're halfway through the lap as we pit. So these tyres are doing the last tyres had a very good stint indeed. Just have to keep going, and hopefully, if we can, get to the end of the race with no problems. Grosjean's 5 seconds ahead. Obviously, he's a back marker. It's more the car that's going around the pinhead at the moment, Lewis Hamilton, that we need to worry about. I believe that is a good enough gap to get in front. It's all a race. Maldonado, he is yet to pit, and he's a long way behind us. So that just shows you the gap and the difference in driving pace and skill between us and Maldonado. But Grosjean's got a little bit of an extra gap there. Main reason for that is their tyres are obviously more heated, they're faster tyres, and they've got more heat, and but our tyres are less worn. So now though, we've got to take this corner perfectly if we're in with a chance. Hitting the wall a little bit now, it's a race. Can we get out before Lewis Hamilton going into the standard fuel mix? And it will now say we're in first position. No cars, no arrows in the pit, so we have taken him. Now it's interesting to see if Hamilton comes out in front of Vettel, or even Alonso, but it will see now Sebastian Vettel takes the position to Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. So we have done very, very well indeed there. Coming onto lap 17 now, we are under pressure from Sebastian Vettel. So Hamilton, I believe, did get in front of Alonso, but Alonso just took him on the main straight, because they're so close, they've got DRS, where for some reason now my controller went a little bit weird and it was selecting tyres. Don't know why, a bit of a glitch there from, I don't think it was the controller, I think it was just like, because the way I was holding the controller, I was just like the buttons and all that. We're going into standard fuel mix now as a safe fuel. Just got to defend our way to the end of the race. You can see now the tyres are very off now, because I've just tried to go into that corner and it's just not worked, so I've had to cut the corner a little bit. Sebastian Vettel now going around the outside. I'm going to give him a gap so that if he wants to go past, I'll get the DRS, and I believe he gets the DRS for that. So that's a little bit disappointing. You're going to see me now do something I'm not too proud of, and that is just swerving like mad to defend against Sebastian Vettel. I'm just swerving the car. Fernando Alonso now is going alongside me, one each side. Alonso gets in front of me, and Alonso, who started in second, has taken back second place, and Hamilton's taken third. So when you think about it, when things went in the pits, they've all just settled down into the way it was. It's a little bit unfair on Vettel, a little bit silly by me, but I had to do it. I mean, come on, I was never going to be able to defend against the 3 fastest cars on the whole entire game. I'm in a little Williams versus a Ferrari, a McLaren, and a Red Bull. I mean, come on, that is a little bit unfair, but we're coming around now, drifting a little bit, holding the car well together, the corner cutting onto the last lap of the race at this point. I think I was busting to do my business, and I was drifting again there. Very, very horrible indeed to have a car that's drifting. 0.8 of a second, but I think we've lost time from that now. We're just going at our absolute fastest just to try and keep the car ahead of Alonso. I'm going to let him go round up the inside. Hopefully that will give me some DRS. I don't want to take the risk though. As you can see though, he's top far away, so I'm just using curves, see if I can gain a second on him. And no, 0.6 seconds, so he can have DRS. You can see there 69.6, which is rather amusing to you dirty-minded people. As we're coming around now on to the back finals, the long straight with the DRS now. Going to go flat out. Fernando Alonso is absolutely storming it. I'm defending with my art. He goes round, he doesn't want to go past the move, he makes no decisions. Taking the final corner, drifting a little bit, holding it together, and we indeed at this point, had my arms in the air, celebrating. We have won the Canadian Grand Prix with Williams, pole to first position. Finally a win. Pastor Maldonado has finished 12th. Wow, we have done it indeed. A first position place for Williams, defending like mad. Guys, thank you for watching. My name is OTG. I am 5th in the title. I'll see you guys in whatever my next video is. Bye guys.